From 1933 to 1945, over 60 million people, regular people like you and me, became refugees because war brought ethnic and religious cleansing. Once displaced, the majority were forced to move to camps where disease and violence killed millions. My grandparents and my mother were forced to leave their home in Germany and were deported to internment camps in France. My mother was 4.5 years old. For a year and a half, they faced every kind of unbearable condition together. Then a week before the entire camp was to be emptied, meaning all people exterminated, the French resistance smuggled my mother out into the countryside. My mother had to escape across the French border to Switzerland all by herself. She is only one of 2 children who alone made the crossing successfully. Meanwhile, my grandparents hid in the ceiling of the barracks.
And then we said goodbye, and at the right moment we sneaked out of the barrack and went out of the camp.
And their harrowing journey took them across Europe, narrowly escaping capture on many occasions. What makes someone turn you in? What makes you help another person? What do you learn from being the person who was helped? Now, more than 80 years later, we play back my grandfather's recorded voice on tape as my mother, Ronya, my sister, and I search for the escape route my grandparents followed. We hope to find out what really happened to them and learn what the conditions are like now, a time when there's even more refugees and more ethnic hatred than any time since the war.
We followed my father's tape, and we heard his story. But when we really heard what happened, when we really heard and saw pictures of the men standing on that huge ground, we could feel their pain.
It was 1938. I was 2 years old when they took my father to Dachau. It's mind-blowing to think that people can actually do this to one another. I remember my father talking about Kristallnacht. I was only 2 years old at the time. It was November 9th, 1938. They called it the Night of Broken Glass, or Kristallnacht in German.
Was the 9th of November 1938. In this night, all the synagogues went in flames. On the next day, they put us in a freight car. They stuffed in people. You couldn't breathe anymore. Finally, we came to the entrance of concentration camp Dachau, and naturally on top was the sign Arbeit macht frei. We had to go over a bridge. On both sides were standing Nazis with long sticks, and they pushed us over the bridge, and on both sides people fell in the water, and they held the people with long sticks down, that they drowned, pushed us over the bridge and in the camp, and until we came on the parade place, and we were standing there for a day and a half.
I feel so bad that these men had to go through this when they were just living an ordinary life. And then, bang, they were the powerless.
What we hope is to find the human spark that will prevent this from happening again.